Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my third attempt, but we're going to do it this time around. Yeah. So anyhow, I've been reading this book called Million Dollar Weekend by Noah Kagan. Really good. I'm almost halfway done, so just have about this left to read. Anyhow, it's a really good book for entrepreneurs or budding entrepreneurs. I should probably do a book review of what I've learned so far as soon as I'm done reading the book. That could be one way, do a book review. Or maybe I should start my business, then I can come back and say how impactful the book was on my business. But then I'll have to wait till when I'm a millionaire. Million Dollar Weekend. Anywho, so right now I'm not going to be telling you anything. I have some scribbles. So while I was reading the book, I just had an inspiration that I really feel like I want to talk about tips for growing natural hair, and I scribbled about 25 points. So anyhow, when you see me looking at this book, it's not because I'm trying to tell you what Noah Kagan says, but this was where I wrote my jottings of points. So the very first point I have is you need to avoid dry hair. In order to grow very long natural hair, you need to avoid dry hair, because dry hair leads to breakage leads to you not retaining length, leads to you having short hair continuously. So please, my dear, try to avoid dry hair. How can you avoid dry hair? First of all, don't use the heat too much, because it takes away all the water and moisture. Secondly, try your best to re-moisturize. Know when your hair needs re-moisturization. Yeah, so that's tip number one. Tip number two is you need to deep condition your hair anytime you put shampoo on your hair. I feel like a lot of people feel like it's okay to use conditioner, to like shampoo your hair and use conditioner and call it a day. No, our type 4 hair requires moisturization, and you can get that moisturization from deep conditioners. So my third point, you need to start using Ayurveda in your hair. Ayurvedic in your hair. I don't know which one, Ayurveda or Ayurvedic herbs in your hair. There's not a lot of information on it. I've been doing it for 2 years and it makes my hair feel amazing. It's also helped me get more thickness in my hair, increase the length of my hair. It's a mild form of protein, but you can't call it a protein. I don't know how to describe it, but anyhow, it's herbs that come and they help your hair grow, they stimulate growth, they help increase circulation, they also help decrease inflammation on the scalp. So I will really encourage that you start using Ayurvedic. So if someone were to ask me how do I start, because there are almost like 20 herbs you can use in your hair, it can get overwhelming. My first three will be 1, amla with brahmin and fenugreek. Mixing them up in a bowl, leaving it overnight or leaving it for a few hours, and then putting it in your hair as soon as you're done with the shampoo will be amazing. Then follow it up with deep conditioner. Don't forget. So your routine now should be shampoo, Ayurveda, and deep conditioner. Okay, the next step is to follow influencers that have a similar hair texture to yours. Please, you also can be African or African American to the core, and you're watching people who have really like Brazilian, some they have coils but not as kinky as yours, so that you will not be frustrated. You won't do some hairstyles and it will just be a complete flop. We need to learn to embrace our own hair texture. Even nowadays, when I scroll through Instagram and I see some wigs that I love, that love me too, they cost about ₦1 million, and I'm just like, why should I be carrying a land on my hair? Why should I be paying so much money to carry a different hair on my head? And if you feel like it is expensive now, imagine what it will be in 10 years. Probably up to $3,000 or 2 million or 14 million naira for a wig. And I think we can change the narrative by embracing our own natural hair that costs us $0, from birth. But maintaining it at least will not cost you $0. Encourage that we embrace our hair, not just for ourselves, but for the next generation, for our daughters who are going to follow or do what they see people doing, not do what you tell them to do. So yeah. Yeah, there's something I recently heard that we can be more Caucasian than a Caucasian, we can be more Asian than an Asian. So please, please, please embrace yourself. Yes, please, please, please. Avoid the use of excessive heat or direct heat on your hair. So this could be things like using a blow dryer, using a flat iron, using a hot comb. Using those things often on your hair is, over time, you will notice that your hair is thinning, you will notice that your hair is weak, and you will notice that your hair is always dry. So please, please try your best to limit how often you put heat on your hair. Please avoid tight hairstyles. Um, uh, this is a long, long, long topic. When we have tight hairstyles, they're uncomfortable for our scalp. Secondly, they increase our chances of traction alopecia. They increase the risk of us losing hair. So over time, wearing a tight hairstyle will lead to hair loss. Something I know about African hairdressers, when you sit down with them, they will be like, oh, it won't, the hairstyle, the hairdo will not be fine until it is tight. Please tell them no. And you should stop going to them because they don't hear or they don't listen. When you put your hair in a bun, in a bow, the struggle is real. My phone ran out of storage, deleted a few apps, and now we are back. The knowledge needs to be spread. Before the camera cut off, I was saying that when you put your hair in a bun or you use like hair ties or rubber band, make sure they are not too tight. Make sure it's nothing, your no hair strand on your napes, your edges feel like they are tugging at you or like telling you, sis, I'm tight. Excessive tension, anything that will induce a headache, please, please stop it. Next hair point is, for you to grow very long hair, there has to be a lifestyle change. There has to be many, many, many differences, many, many things you change that will help you. Make sure you're eating well. Also recognize that, I don't know how to say this without, also recognize that we are somewhat deficient in some things, meaning like a lot of black people actually are already deficient in vitamin D. You need it to help with many things in your body, including hair growth. So please make sure you're supplementing it. If you realize as a woman who's seeing her period every month, so you might want to check that you're not anemic. So hemoglobin being down, iron being down will affect your hair. The other lifestyle change will be making sure you're sleeping well. Body repairs itself when we're sleeping. Exercising will help. So the next tip is to think of your hairdressers as a Picasso. They love making you look beautiful. Your husband loves it too. I even love seeing you look beautiful. Some hairdressers, and to be honest, a lot of hairdressers, their only job is to make your hair beautiful. But the health of your hair really relies on you. It relies on you when you're in the shop with them and they're about to put blow dryer on your hair and they didn't spray heat protectant. Your job is to also remind them that, hey babe, please, can you use heat protectant? In short, don't worry, I brought my heat protectant. You need to anticipate where some of your hairdressers might do you dirty, or sometimes they are combing and brushing your hair so ruggedly, so aggressive. You need to remind the babe, please, and never ever go back to that hairdresser again. It's kind of awkward. It's an awkward conversation for me to have with a professional hairdresser. It's also awkward for a professional hairdresser to be hearing all that feedback. And so a lot of times we'll just sit still and maintain steeze. A hairstyle that took someone 12 hours should not take someone 30 minutes to unravel. So in the process of them doing that, they are ripping your hair apart, and now you're not seeing the length, you're not retaining the length to see that your hair is growing long.
A few moments later.
Know that protein treatments are important for your hair. You need to be doing a protein treatment every 4 to 6 weeks. You could go with the Apogee 1-2. You could go with Miel's protein treatment. anyone is good. Just please make sure you're doing a protein treatment. When you do a protein treatment consistently, then you don't need very harsh protein treatments. Yeah. What does a protein treatment do? It helps filling the weak